Did you know that everything that has ever happened to you in life up to this point, you have manifested and attracted those things? I bet you didn't know that, right? So today, I'm actually going to be talking about how to leverage the law of attraction to be able to manifest and be able to achieve anything you want in life. Of course, as long as it's possible within a physical realm, meaning, you're not, hoping to start manifesting you flying, like, of course, without any equipment and just jumping off a bridge and just being able to fly, right? And I ain't think of that sort, right? But how to be able to achieve your dream life and be able to even drive a car like this, or maybe even better than this, right? Maybe there's nothing to you. Maybe you want to achieve something way greater than this, right? But I'm going to be telling y'all about the law of attraction and explaining the difference between manifestation and the law of attraction. So the law of attraction simply suggests and means that you're capable of being able to attract anything in life, right? So law of attraction means that whatever you think about, you attract those things, right? So if you're thinking about a burger, you're gonna attract the burger. If you're thinking about a girlfriend relationship, you're gonna eventually attract the relationship. If you're thinking about success, you're gonna attract those things, right? Now, it gets a lot more deeper than that, right? Because you need these two, right, in order to actually be able to achieve your dream life, right? But it starts with the law of attraction, believing that you can actually accomplish these things and actually thinking on it. Of course, you need implementation, right? But we're not going to focus on that today, just the thought process, right? So law of attraction, once again, anything you think about, you can essentially manifest and attract those things to you. Manifestation is just the action of that, right? So manifesting is actually the action of actually doing that thing, right? So the action behind actually attracting those things, and then of course actually having those things you manifest into reality, right? So I hope that makes sense, right? I'm not the best at explaining things, but I hope that makes sense. So I want to give you an example of what I will consider the law of attraction. So there's one of my friends who works at Walmart, right? So I typically always see him at Walmart, at my local Walmart. I go in there and he works there, and every single time I go in, I'm like, what's up, bro? How you been? Woo woo, you know what I'm saying? And so I'll go in there the last time because I had moved out of the city I was staying in. I came back and I went to the local Walmart, and then I'm like, okay, I know he typically works there. I typically see him because he's like a supervisor, and I didn't see him in there. So I'm like, yo, like, that's crazy. Like, where's Marco? Like, I typically see him in here. Like, I don't know why he's not here. I'm like, oh, maybe he quit or something like that. Maybe he up out of here. And then I went to a city about an hour away, right? So I went about an hour away randomly, right? Because it was my I was going to a birthday party. Actually, I was going to a birthday party an hour away. So I literally drove an hour away to this random city, right? I was just thinking about this dude prior, 24 hours ago, less than 24 hours ago. The next day, I go to this random place at a random time, which I was gonna go to my local Target, but I chose to just go to the Target there. I'm like, you know what? I'll just go to Target when I get there. So I go into the Target, and then it just happens to be that big old Target that out of all the times, right? Out of all the times I could have went, any Target I went and any place I could have went, I went there and I literally saw the dude, right? I saw this man, Marco. I'm like, bro, what? Absolutely no way. But I was actually thinking about him because I'm like, yo, I had just seen a video of him. I had just seen him online. I had just saw a post that him and a girl made about like this date they had went to, and I'm like, that's actually a really great idea. I really like that, the concept of what they did. And I'm like, I gotta do that. And I'm like, oh damn, I wonder where what he'd been up to and everything like that. I was just thinking about that. And then less than 24 hours prior, I go to a random city, a random location, and this guy just happens to be there at that exact same time. Now, people call this a coincidence. I think not, right? So a lot of people start to think that when they are actually attracting these things, that things are coincidences, right? Unexplainable. Oh, it's a coincidence. I want you to take the concept of coincidence out your mind. Coincidences do not exist. People just came up with that to not accept the reality of law of attraction. You are attracting these things. Now, that's just a very small portion of, what's possible, right? That's just, okay, I saw a friend, I was thinking about a friend, right? Now, this happened in very many cases. I want you to really think about it. When has something so crazy happened that you just explain it with just a coincidence? There is no such thing as a coincidence. So you believe in coincidences, but you don't believe in the law of attraction. How crazy is that, right? You have to understand that us humans, we are very powerful. The car that I'm driving, right? I'm gonna put y'all into a different scenario, right? Okay, cool. So now we're talking about law of attraction and manifestation, right? So you have to use these two in conjunction with each other, right? So back when I was still working my 9-to-5 job, I was working at WeatherTech. A friend of mine actually suggested that we go to a car dealership. He like, let's go to this car dealership, because we both didn't have any money at the time, literally working slave work, 9-to-5 jobs, and not getting paid really any money. And then he was like, yo, let's go to this place. Let's go to the dealership. It's a luxury car dealership. Let's test drive with the cars that we want in the future, right? I'm like, okay, cool. Like, at first I was like, nah, what's the point? He's like, bro, just so we can manifest these things, right? And attract it. I'm like, okay, I like that. You know what? If you're willing, we're doing it for that reason, I'm willing to do it. So we went over there, and we went to the dealership. We hopped over there, and then I remember I was like, dang, like, what if they know? Like, bro, they're not gonna act cool, you know what I'm saying? So we go in there, and I see it was a Corvette C7, right? So I saw the C7, and I'm like, I really rock with this. I really like this, and I asked to even test drive it because I wanted to know what it felt like to have this type of car. I just wanted, like, I want to be able to manifest it as much as possible and be able to attract this thing into my life as much as possible. If I know exactly what it feels like to have this thing, to drive it, if I know exactly what it feels like, I can get the best representation, the best manifestation or illustration in my mind to be able to manifest this thing, right? So I wanted to really just get a great mental image, because when it comes to law of attraction manifestation, if you can imagine that thing, you can feel having that thing, these things make it that much easier to get it, right? So for example, test driving your dream car, right? Or going to neighborhoods where your dream house is, right? Or surrounding yourself with people who have the money that you want to have, right? All those small little things you're doing to actually get the thing that you want to accomplish is going to help you that much more in many different ways than you think, right? So we went to this car dealership. I hopped in the C7. I started test driving. I'm like, let me see what it feels like to drive this. I'm like, whoa, I fell in love with the car instantly. I'm like, this is absolutely amazing. I really like the feel of this car. I like it. I'm like, oh my god. So I even took a little snap video, right, which I might throw in here or something like that. So I literally recorded right quick. I'm like, just to know what it feels like to. This was like beginning of 2022, right? January 17th or something like that of 2022, right? So I'm test driving this car. I drove it. The guy like, oh, you gonna get it? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm thinking about it. I had no money to get that car. I could afford that, right? But literally a year after that, I was able to actually get this car. I literally went from a 9-to-5 job to driving my dream car, making over $50,000 profit every single month, right? A year from that time, from being broke to making over $50,000 profit at the age of 22 years old. I believe I was 22 years old, right? And the reason why I was able to do it is because it takes way more than just, of course, just going there, but that is the start of it, because I wanted it so bad. My brain started finding ways to give me this thing. So I went there to the car dealership. I test drove the car that I wanted, putting myself in a position of course, there was a cop around the corner, so I had to make sure that I dropped my phone right quick. You know what I'm saying? These cops don't be playing. I don't even want no problems. So I went to the dealership. I test drove the car. I took a picture of the car. I put it on my wall, and every single day I would look at this. I'll have a mental image. Imagine what it feels like to drive this car. Remind y'all, I was just like y'all in y'all position. I had no money at all, right? No prior business experience or anything of that sort. I'm just like, yo, I want this car. I don't know how I'm gonna get this thing. I have absolutely no idea, which is even thinking back to it, it's absolutely crazy. It's like, imagine you right now in the position you are. And it's exactly how I was. A regular 9-to-5 worker, just working my 9-to-5, and I decided I actually wanted to change. I went and test drove this car. I started like, well, I need this car. I can't see myself without this car. I need this car. I need this car. I need this car. I need this car. I started literally envisioning me driving this car. I took a picture of this car. I had absolutely no money. I was being delusional, right? And law of attraction manifestation takes delusion. I was delusional, like, yo, I can't get this car. This was a $100,000 car. I was making what, 30 grand a year, 40 grand a year, if that. All right, 21 years old or 20 years old or so. And I was like, yo, I want this car. I want this car. I want this car. So I literally took a picture of it. I slapped it on my wall. Every single day I would look at it. And that was just the beginning. I was able to manifest it easier and be able to attract it into my life because I started envisioning myself having this thing. And I started imagining. And not only did I get the car, I got a better model of the car. So not the C7, but the C8 and a newer version. right? So I got a better version of the car that I was even manifesting for. And I could have gotten the color. I went to the dealership, they had the exact color that I had on my wall, which was red, but I actually ended up choosing blue. The reason why I chose the blue is because I already have a red Camaro. All right, so I bought a red Camaro. That was like $13,000. I'm like, okay, I have this Camaro. So, and that was also one of my dream cars as well too, that I also manifested. We ain't gonna get past that though, right? Because Camaro now they owe, but you know, I gotta put it into perspective with this vet, right? So boom, got the car just like that, right? So I always, you know, even prior to that, I wanted to be able to quit my 9-to-5 job so bad. I wrote down a date on exactly when I had to quit my 9-to-5 job by, and eventually started. I will also sit there, I will start meditating so I could try to have and paint a mental image of me not working a job and me having a full-time entrepreneur business and just going all in on just being an entrepreneur. Somebody just pushing the car right now. I can see that. I'm pushing the motorcycle. Y'all can see that in mine. So yeah. But anyway, so back to what I was saying. So I literally started trying to focus on what it feels like to not have my job anymore. So I want you, whatever goal you have in life, start writing these things down. Start trying to attract these things while you're working hard on it. Because if you just work hard at these things, you're not gonna get it alone. That's not gonna be enough, because anybody can work hard. But if you work hard, you have a mental image of exactly what it is, the end result that you want. You have, let me let this window down, it's kind of hot in here. Hold on. Turn my AC on. You have a mental image of exactly the type of lifestyle you want to live. You also are writing it down. You have a picture of it on your wall, looking at it every single day. There's absolutely no way you're not gonna succeed. There's absolutely no way you're not gonna succeed. It's a law of attraction. You have to attract these things into your life, y'all. You have to attract these things in your life. You can attract anything you want in life if you have this simple formula, right? Write it down every single day. Every single day, I will write down in a notebook. I will have a Corvette C8 by X date. I will have a Corvette C8 by X date. Whatever car you want, right? It don't have to be anything like luxurious or anything else, but whatever your goal is, write it out every single day, right? I literally wrote it out in a notebook every single day. I will have X, Y, Z by this date. I put a specific time frame on it, so my brain knows I want it by this time, right? Now, I will say the whole purpose of that is to help you better manifest that thing. If you don't accomplish it by that date, I promise you, I assure you, as long as you're working hard towards those things and doing everything I'm gonna say in this video, you're gonna be that much closer. Because when the date came to it, I wasn't in the position to really buy the car right then and there, right? But I bought it 3 months after that. 3 months after that, everything exploded really and got even crazier, where I was in a position to even get the car, right? So 3 months after that, because after 6 months of setting this goal, 6 months, I hit my first $10,000 month. After 6 months of actually setting this goal, right? Whether that was my income goal to make my first 6 figures, and that to make my first 6 figures and be able to drive my dream car as well too. I put those goals and I write it out every single day. So I wrote 2 goals down, right? It wasn't a bunch of goals, it was 2 simple goals, and I knew, hey, I get these 2 goals, I can accomplish the things that I want to accomplish, right? It was to travel more, all those things, right? So I didn't even put travel or anything on that bucket list, even though I did start doing more traveling, right? I put some simple things down, which those simple things were, I want to make my first 6 figures, and I want to be able to drive my dream car, my Corvette, right? Those are the 2 things that I wrote down. Simple as that. And I start working towards it every single day. But by me simply putting that, I was able to not only hold myself accountable, but I was able to put that out there into the universe. Because I understand the universe can give you anything that you want in life, right? Anything you desire, the universe will give it to you. The universe shall give it to you. You have to be willing to actually lock in though, right? Because I did lock in, I started grinding, I started working on my business. But I could have been doing that, I had been doing that for years and years and years, but I wasn't leveraging manifestation, I wasn't leveraging law of attraction. When I start actually leveraging these things down, I actually start writing it down. I have a picture of the thing that I wanted to accomplish on my wall, right? I had a bunch of stuff that's talking about grind, hustle, repeat, talking about, you know, things that are just gonna get me in that mode of being able to always think about the end goal, what I'm trying to achieve, right? I will have it on my wall every single day. looking at it every single day. And I will also start listening to affirmations. I'm listening to affirmations all the time on YouTube. Literally, search up affirmations on YouTube. I search up affirmations. I'm listening to them. Affirmations. I'm saying affirmations to myself, and just literally just grind it out. And I grind it out for about a year. After that, in a year, I was able to accomplish the goals that I wanted, drive the car that I wanted, and all it took was literally just locking in for 1 year, right? Because I knew if I didn't lock in, at the end of the day, I'm gonna still continue to keep living my life regularly, my 9 to 5 and everything like that. I'm like, this is not what I want. This is not what I want, right? I'm like, I want a more extravagant lifestyle. I want to do a lot more in life than just what I have now, right? Just what I want. And I told myself, without these things, I would not be happy. That was just like, I mean, that's the reality of things. Because I'm like, I have a lot of family members I want to help. So I'm like, I need to do these things, not only for myself, but for my family as well. I will always recommend as well, if you have another person that you're doing it for, I feel like it helps you better manifest those things. Me doing it for my family, not only myself. It wasn't just a selfish goal, right? It was also a selfless goal as well. I feel like for me personally, having that other person other than you, whether that's, you know, your mom, your dad, or both, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever that person, whoever that person is, your kids, whoever those people are, having that on your mind constantly, and having those people in mind while you're trying to manifest these things, it becomes a selfless thing, which I feel like the universe gives it to you even easier, right? When it's actually genuine, right? I want you to really think about somebody you're genuinely wanting to be able to help out and put them in a better position. And when you are actually working towards those things, the universe will give it to you that much easier, right? So, just some key takeaways right quick, right? So key takeaway number 1, write down your goals. Write down everything you want to accomplish and set a time frame on when you want to accomplish that thing by. Key takeaway number 2, have a picture of the things you want to gain access to or have in your life you want to manifest. Have a picture of this thing. Put it somewhere you can see it every single day. So it's a constant reminder and is always stimulating your brain to manifest these things in your life, right? I am a full testimony of that, right? I literally I didn't even believe in this stuff, right? In the beginning, I'm like, yo, what? Da, da, da. But I read the book Think and Grow Rich, which I'll link down below in the comments and the description if y'all want those books as well. I'll link them down below. That was the book that I read. Now I'm reading a book called The Law. What's the book called? I can't even think of the book right now. The Law of Success in 16 Lessons. That's the book I'm reading now by the same author, actually. Right now, that book is even more in depth. I would recommend a beginner read that book. I would say listen to an audiobook for Think and Grow Rich. After you digest that information, then you can move on to The Law of Success. Right? So, 1, write down your goals. 2, have a picture of it. 3, have a mental image of the things you're trying to accomplish. So really try to sit there and envision every day or every other day, envision the things you're trying to accomplish, right? Now, along with the thing that I said, we'll write it down. I want you to write a mini note that I want you to carry with you at all times. Every single day when you're driving, right? When you come to a stoplight or whatever case may be, or when you wake up in the morning, read this thing every single day. Anytime you have a little bit of like a little bit of gap in time, pull this note out and read it. Now, I say a note for a specific reason, not a note in your phone, but I want you to write it down, because when you're writing it, it gives you a better chance of manifesting that thing than having it in your phone. That's just how I feel, right? So write it down so you can truly try to manifest it as much as possible and try to increase your chance of manifesting that thing as soon as possible. So write it down, right? Have a picture of it and have a mental image of this thing, right? And also try to be a little bit selfless with it. If you can have somebody else in mind other than yourself, in mind that you're doing it for, your daughter, your mom, your dad, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever that person is, have that person in mind when you're trying to manifest these things. And pick a genuine person. If you can't think of that person as just you, okay, it's just you. Don't try to be fake with it. The universe knows more than you, right? But do those things and lock in. Find a legitimate business model. Now, I will link my second account down below, where I give y'all business ideas and side hustles that you can actually go about, doing to actually start making some money. I do have a video on this channel, but this channel is just for, the things you need to do on the back end, like your mindset, taking care of everything, and the motivation to actually do these things. That's what this channel is about. If you want the actionable skill sets you need, the link will be in the description. Go to that channel, go over there, watch the videos on there, It will literally, I got side hustles, business ideas, and all those actionable steps you actually need in the field of actually getting the business done and making the money, right? So this is the mindset, the back end. That channel will teach you what you actually need to do, the step-by-step, the business model, the vehicle that's gonna take you there, right? But you need this mindset, right? So I will have that in the description as well if you wanna go check that out, and in the comment section as well, right? But yeah, that's what you need in order to be able to accomplish everything you want in life, as long as possible within the physical realm. Once again, we ain't jumping out of a plane and think we're gonna fly, right? We ain't gonna be that delusional, right? But it does take delusion. All right, so I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If this wasn't in-depth enough, let me know. I can do maybe a different style of content and maybe have some illustration. All right, talk to y'all later.